Hi, I'm Demetria Guidry, and today I'm going to talk about my lesson plan in childcare. I'm going to be teaching in Family and Consumer Sciences, so I used a Family and Consumer Science framework. Unit 5, 5.3 is to list the basic needs of children, and 5.31 students need to be able to design basic activities to meet the needs of the basic needs of children. The Common Core standard that I used is ER1 Critical Reading 3. Students shall become self-directed readers by engaging in literacy experiences relevant to personal interests, goals, everyday life, or world events. Students will prepare for meaningful discussions individually, collaboratively, or through inquiry and analysis. What is your objectives? My objectives are students will read information on how to care for young children. Students will use thinking and reasoning skills to decipher and learn what it means to care for young children. Students will brainstorm ideas, create a hand puppet with materials provided along with a silly short story for their hand puppet to tell. Students will practice and then perform their hand puppet story. Students will reflect and discuss on what they learned and the importance of having safe, age-appropriate activities prepared when caring for young children. Why have I chosen these objectives? I chose these objectives because it's a part of the students' facts frameworks for the state of Arkansas, and I also chose these objectives because it would support the students' learning in how to care for young children and reinforces critical thinking and reasoning skills. How will I group the students for instruction? In the beginning of the lesson, I will use whole group instruction. After whole group instruction, I will have students work in partners. Then we will come back together as a group for performances. To conclude the lesson, I will further assess the students in a group discussion. Why have I chosen this grouping? I've chosen this group instruction because it's the best way to give information and instructions for the activity and clear up any confusion or questions that the students may have before beginning. It is also a great way for generating a class brainstorming list. I chose them to work in partners so that they could have peer-to-peer support and also to encourage positive interactions and increase creativity. I chose to come back as a group so that the class as a whole can benefit from learning and watching their student peer performances. I chose to end with a class discussion to assess what students learned and assure that they met the objectives listed above. Methods and instructional strategies. What teaching methods will I use? The instructional methods that I've chose for this activity are brainstorming, to generate a list of creative ideas for their puppets and stories. I will show them examples of puppets created previously as well as a performance. Students will be grouped into partners while completing the activity. The students will perform a demonstration or performance with the puppets that they have created and will end with a class discussion report back over what they have learned. I will ask students to identify the age in which they designed their puppet or story for and how it meets the needs of young children. Why have I chosen this method or methods? I chose this brainstorming method because I believe it would be the most effective in generating a list of ideas with a small amount of time. Brainstorming will help students begin to think about the task at hand and reinforce creativity. I will use group instruction to deliver the instructions of this assignment. I chose demonstrations or performances because it will be the best way for students to demonstrate their creativity, showing what they have learned, all the while becoming familiar with the expectations of childcare. It's also an effective way for me to assess what they have learned. I chose to end the class with a discussion to further assess their understanding and importance of childcare of young children.